Good morning. It's Saturday. It's the 6th of November, and our reading is from 1 Timothy 2, 1 through 2. First of all, then, I urge that requests, prayers, intercessions, and thanks be offered on behalf of all people, even for kings and all who are in authority, that we may lead a peaceful and quiet life in all godliness and dignity. The first part of this is really easy to understand, even if we're not necessarily happy with it. What it says is that we are to offer all kinds of prayers for all people, even those in authority. That means whether we like them or not, whether they're on the opposite side of the aisle from us, we're still to pray for them. And not that God would bring fire and brimstone down on them. I don't think that's Paul's intent here. Instead, we are to be civil, even with those we disagree with. When we talk about our disagreements, and there may be times when that's entirely apropos, we need to do so in a civil manner, not as we see even believers often doing these days with vitriol and ugliness. Now, the second half is a little harder to wrap our head around because it says that we may lead peaceful and a quiet life in all godliness and dignity. Obviously, circumstantially, even praying for the leaders who we disagree with doesn't necessarily mean our circumstances are going to improve accordingly. But I think what improves is our spirit, our dependency on the Lord. And so in that sense, we live peacefully and we live quietly because we're not going to get into fights with others. Say, don't talk about religion or politics. Well, don't talk about religion, talk about relationship with God. And that's going to offend people, and that's the way it is. But if we don't talk about politics, we're less likely to get in fights with people. And so we will have a quieter life. And we always, in obedience to God, have godly dignity and godliness. And that's what we should desire. And that's where we get that supernatural peace. So keep that in mind this week as part of your prayer life. Pray for those in power. And pray that God would touch them. Because many, and I don't care what side of the aisle we're talking about, live in a way that doesn't reflect they know Him, even if they may or may not be saved. And so the greatest desire we should have is the same desire that God has, that all people be saved, because He loves all people. And I know that when we behave accordingly, we will have plenty to praise God for and to thank Him for. And I'll see you again tomorrow.